Hello, I am Kiachane, essentially. But here is more so a note to myself is that I recognize there was a lot of things I enjoy that I had stopped doing, or rather put off doing, and I started to grow a reverence for, because the way in which I was doing them wasn't true to myself. Like writing. Writing is something I've always done, not necessarily journals per se, but stories. And I've always collected all the notebooks and stuff I've had from youngest I remember is kindergarten, right? But as I went through, finishing high school and the transferring schools and the different systems of writing I had to do into, college, the academic structure in which I had to write 9 times out of 10 made me nullify my voice, in a sense of like I couldn't be who I wanted to be, or been told as a woman or as a Black woman I had to write a certain way, and it just wasn't true to who I am or what I wanted to create. And so taking these courses in which, like, getting my degree in English and being told, oh, we cultivating your creative voice, but then at the same time the English department saying that they don't have any creative writing teachers who know how to do creative writing projects, which that was one of my fields of study, right? And to then go into like not having any creative courses or outlets at all, be it writing, sculpture, painting, dance, or anything of the sort, and just feeling so confined. And then also having to go through like COVID, so like my college experience wasn't like, I guess quote unquote natural. And I know we all like went going through these times, right? So in learning, as I'm continuing to learn myself and who I am and who I seek to become, I'm also learning who I thought I was, or rather who I thought I had to be, wasn't me. And I don't even know why I'm crying at this point. Like, there's been so many changes. When everything's happening at once and you can't fully process it? That's me. And it's like I'm fully now been able to process things I've been through in ways I have felt I had to occupy spaces that wasn't true to myself. The sentence, my life is my testimony. I've always had these visions, be it of things that's occurring, be it to me or other people, and had these gifts and abilities to communicate with things and beings. And some people might think I'm crazy or whatever, but it is what it is. And I ran from it. But as I've begun to trust myself and been accepting of that aspect of me, I returned more to my writing. Well, let me just focus on one thing, because it's something we've been talking about, therapy. The academic structure of writing made me not want to do it anymore. In the specific way I had to write made me not want to do it anymore, because I felt like if I written, even if it was on free time or whatever, that I had to write that way. I felt like I was losing sight of myself. And maybe I very much so was. That uninstalled all apps from my phone. All social media apps. It's been on my return to writing and write down like my stories and stuff, because I had felt up all these books. I found that in conversation to myself, I felt I had to be so constructive. So it was like every conversation was almost as if like I had to provide myself feedback, but I also wasn't reflecting on like joy. Although I had started like making the books in which like write about like happiness, separating my negative thoughts from positive thoughts. I find and taking this space for myself has allowed me to also reflect on the friendships that I had once formed, and also who I was during that time. And I'm learning to be more gentle with myself and learning more about myself in a sense of who I've learned more about myself in more unexpected ways and not been so harsh to myself. In my last therapy session, she said to me, I had to not be so hard on myself on like in my healing process. When I lock in on a task, I'm all in on it, right? Although I'm still doing all these other things on sidebar, but I lock in on it and I hold myself to the standard to which like I feel if I'm not meeting that, I'm failing. Oh, let me not say I hold myself because we relinquished that. I had been holding myself to this standard, right? So in a specific therapy session, I felt like I had in mind exactly what I want to go and talk about, but some things had occurred and transpired that was like on the forefront of my mind and my emotions. But I felt like I was letting myself down in my healing journey because that's what I was thinking about. Although like that's too a part of the process, right? That's what, you know, your therapist and stuff is there for. It's not just one tiny aspect. You know, healing isn't linear and all these things come up unexpectedly, although you have one thing you want to talk about, right? But all these things come up unexpectedly, but they're there to assist you and give you the tools to work you through that process. However, for me, I was like, how selfish of you to like talk about this when this is the assignment, this is what you need to focus on, like assignment to myself, whatever, right? That even in that made me recognize that even in my healing process, I was being so harsh on myself and the expectations I held myself to, even when I was trying to be gentle with myself. So what does gentle mean? What does that look like for Kiki? And how do you want to treat yourself moving forward? And I think that's something most of us don't think about, right? How are you treating yourself, and how do you want to treat yourself, right? And I want to continue to treat myself in a way that I'm proud of, because I recognized and a lot of things I worked towards and worked on. Like, yes, I was proud of myself during that process. Like, one of the top of my goals is making sure the way I conduct myself and hold myself is the way that my family is proud of and can be proud of like who I am, me standing in my truth and going after my dreams. And the way I do that. Can I pause on iPhone? I'm new to the iPhone community, so and maybe that's very hubris of me. When people ask like, what's your why? Your why should be more internal things than external factors. I had to recognize that, you know, if you're talking about family values, but in that, being able to clearly identify that I care more about how they saw me and how I did things than what Kiajane did. Realizing that, I also recognized that also meant I was neglectful of me and my own opinions, and what that means to continuously neglect yourself and continuously neglecting yourself. What is that saying to yourself? That you don't care more about your opinions. I didn't value myself as much. And as I'm healing, you know, through that, and as I continuously began to put myself first, I recognize how much I was overworking myself, not only to help other people, but to what I believe would be like most beneficial. Because I guess the way my brain operates is helping myself, yes, but making sure wherever I'm doing is also helping others. Because it's, you know, there's the seed, and then there's what takes to nourish the seed, and then there's the fruit, right? But the seed don't get there by themselves, right? It's other things that requires the seeds to get in the ground, be it the farmer, or be it animals' paw, or just being like the natural waterways that requires, so maybe that rock to erode for it to go into the ground just deep enough for when the rain comes through, for it to nourish it and then not get rinsed away, you know, doing the erosion or the flow of life. I'm not gonna cuss. That's also something I'm working on. Not cussing as much. I feel like that was like a whole sidebar tangent, but in me prioritizing myself, I have come to feel a greater sense of joy and appreciation for life because I didn't recognize how hard I was being on myself. The most free I have felt in my entire life has been through this last year. But May 5th, 2023, or May 6th, I don't know. I had two different congratulations somebody. 2 graduations I had to go to. Because again, I had 2 degrees. Either way, I've slept the most not being in school than I ever have. Like, I was only sleeping 45 minutes a week. And they be like, oh, that's crazy or whatever. But I was hyper functioning. I had hyper functioning depression. And that also made me, like, it was stress-induced anxiety as a side effect of that. And the year, going into my senior year and completing my bachelor's, I recognized that I didn't feel at ease being still. And watching women and other individuals in my family on how they felt like even in their leisure time and being retired, they feel like they always had to be doing something, and that didn't sit well with me. Sometimes when certain things bother you, it's also a reflection of yourself, right? So me looking back at myself, being like, what else do you see this pattern in? And taking accountability for myself, and me having to acknowledge, like, even in teachers and stuff I saw, and how they like took on so much, or even just family members, how I didn't want that to become my reality. I had to change what I was doing. Now, I don't know where this is headed, but some of y'all and me, you should just take time and reflect on your own voice. Because none of us have to find our voice. We already have them. It's just, are you listening to it, right? What do you need the most? Write down like what would you doing this help you with? How do you feel when you do these things? Because it's not that I necessarily thought I wanted to be a teacher, but I always thought in some capacity I would be instructing others. Because I love being able to help other people in general. So I got my teacher's license, okay? I got my teacher's license, and, teacher's permit. Teacher's permit, because I substitute teach or guest teacher or whatever. I felt the most joy working with those kids than I had ever. And I was doing this other job in which, like, I got the most sick I've ever been in my life. Like, there was something every week. Like, I was in a hospital. It was okay. I was in a hospital every week. I was sick. And what was the last straw for me was I was in hospital, and my hospital order was that I couldn't return until like a few days. Either way, even with all the pain and stuff I was feeling, I made sure I sent them my papers so they knew, what was going on, like my medical form. And they gonna tell me that I had to make up the hours I missed or I would be terminated. And that's retaliation. But not only to say, I felt this like betrayal because all the stuff I was doing, right? And it's just like, knowing that these companies really don't be caring, but it's just like, when shit just thrown in your face like that. Excuse me for cussing, but I recognize, and on the second day of that job, actually, I woke up, and the first thing I said to myself was, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. But I didn't fully recognize, like, why, what was going on. And coming to the end of that and, like, putting my notice in and everything, I recognized that I was giving up a part of myself and my and I felt like I was compromising my morals and who I am to be this position. I truly care about people, right? And I feel to create a healthy entrepreneurship ecosystem means also aiding those communities that you're serving in, like that you're working in, because those feeding your businesses, so make sure you feeding them back, right? But it wasn't like that. And it just made me feel very dirty and grimy. And although, like, I've maintained myself and doing the things of my accord, they wasn't feeling it. Which that is what it is. And me being in that environment and all the things I was experiencing was also the universe reflecting I wasn't supposed to be there. And I remember there was a few days I woke up and I was just here, like, if I stayed there, I would die, right? And something that I've like that's grown up being told to me, because the way I took on stress was that stress will kill you, right? Like, baby, my grandma, my mothers, my aunts, even my teacher saying, like, I can't allow myself to be stressed out about these things. Don't take on so much. Like, that's gonna kill you. That's gonna put you in a grave. And to the point now when I'm under so much stress, my body completely breaks down. Or maybe it's not breaking down, it's just her finally saying, like, hey, I'm not doing this no more. We not putting up with it. And even been on, like, they know me in a hospital, and been like, you can't be doing this. So there's no option but to be gentle with myself now, which I'm grateful for. But it shouldn't take to where you're breaking down for you to finally listen to you. Ooh, I need to hear that. I need to hear that for myself. It shouldn't take for you to break down for you to finally listen to you. You being new to what it was. You been know how you felt, but you haven't been listening to yourself, your intuition, all the signs. You ask for all the signs in the world, but for everyone, you're making up an excuse, right? Why you keep making up excuses? You asked for an answer, you got it. So from now on, be true to you and listen to you. And I feel like this was like a whole ramble. I feel like it was the whole ramble, but necessary. Maybe I'll trim this down. I'm saying it, but I don't want to. I'm over it. Let me not say I'm over it. I apologize. I'm not over it. I just don't want to put energy and time into that. So if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate you. But I'm asking, make sure you tell people how they can help you, how you need to be helped. Because that was another thing. A friend of mine asked, like, how can I help you? And in that moment, I was like, I don't know. I'm like, and I don't want to say I don't mean I don't know in the sense that I don't want help, but I never thought of anybody else helping me with this. I was so used to just having to do it by myself. I never thought about asking anybody to help me. So I've been making sure I ask for the help I need, because there's people willing to assist you, but you also have to tell them how you need help and how they can help you, and allow people to assist you, right? So don't be going out here saying, nobody want to help me, I'm doing it on my own, but you never even told us how we could show up for you, right? I need that for myself. This is more so like a memoir for my own thoughts as I'm moving through this process. But I feel that we're on the right path. I'm on the right path. I feel it within myself. I'm trusting what feels right. Even when it don't make sense to me, it's not for me to make sense of or even try to envision where I'm going, because I see the long-term goal. But I will admit I'm scared because I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't see it. But I know I need to just trust how it feels. So you do the same thing. And I'm not going to say you getting through it, because getting through it means just trying to get by. But hold on, I got to wipe my nose again. But what's required of you is for you to show up and be your truthful self. And this little hair is bothering me because I see it sticking up. But either way, you gonna heal. And thank you for choosing to heal. I love you always, and love your highest and lowest selves, okay? Be gentle with yourself. I know what that gentle means and looks like for you. And I love you. Thank you for being here. You got it. Yo, I was gonna say your internet niece. Your internet niece or sister, younger sister, older sister, whatever. Auntie, since I'm an aunt now. That's so wild, I'm an aunt. Sister, cousin, whatever. I want you to be your peace. Be your peace. You have to be that. You have to be your peace first before other people can be your peace, right? Because how you asking other people to be your peace, but you don't know what that peace look like for you, babe? No, that's not how it works. So be your peace, so you can invite others into that with you. Know your standard first, and love you. This is Kiachne, Untitled.